Hi, welcome to the BoshNRoll channel. I'm your host, Brian Koval. Before we get started, make sure to hit those like and subscribe buttons. If you want to see me play your favorite deck or your spicy brew on the channel, I take donation deck lists. I'll do a deck tech, play a full Magic Online League, and help tune your list. If that sounds good, check out my contact info. It's in the video description below. Now let's go play some Magic.
Welcome back to the BoshNRoll channel. Today I got some Pioneer for you, and this is a Patreon submitted list from patron Foxicon, and Foxicon has sent me Blue-Black Valki. So this interaction, Valki God of Lies, is a 2-drop on the front, and on the back there's a 7-drop Planeswalker that's difficult to beat. And since it's printing, people have been trying to cheat the back half into play with various means. They actually changed the way Cascade works at the rules level, so this couldn't happen anymore. But Pioneer does still have a couple ways to make this happen, and one of them is Release to the Wind. So 3-mana instant, exile target non-land permanent. For as long as that card remains exiled, its owner may cast it without paying its mana cost. So you cast Valki God of Lies, then you release it to the wind, and then the game sees Tibalt Cosmic Imposter as a thing you can cast without paying its mana cost. So this is a little harder than cascading into it, like Modern and Legacy were doing, but it's still a pretty cool combo. It's in this tight little blue-black control package. This deck looks a lot like Blue-Black Inverter, a deck that got banned. I played that deck at the Pro Tour back in Phoenix when Pioneer was a brand new format, and Dig Through Time, Hero's Downfall, Drown in the Loch, Jace, Thoughtseize, Fatal Push, Opt. This looks pretty familiar to me. I've been here before. So this is a blue-black control shell with a little combo finish. It also doesn't really play an alternate win con. Like Jace, Vryn's Prodigy, I guess you could mill them out if you go ultimate with Jace Telepath Unbound. But really, assembling Tibalt and going nuts is how this deck is planning on winning the game. The really cool thing that I like about this deck is that it's also a Lurrus deck. Like all of the permanents cost 2 or less, and that means you get to be Lurrus. So there are some engines. You get your Jace back, you get your Soul Guide Lantern, which can turn into drawing cards. An unlimited stream of Valkis. So pretty cool stuff. This is pretty straight up just blue-black control magic. Control their stuff, kill their threats, keep them off the board until you can release your Tibalt to the wind. And that's the deck. Let's check it out. We're here for round 1. So start the game off by revealing my companion. That's how that works. You do that after the die roll, but before anyone draws their hand. So Lurrus is here. Let's look at this hand. So I have 2 releases. A Dig that's not going to be relevant for a long time. Soul Guide Lantern can cycle. Fetid Pools can cycle. And I don't love this hand. Like, really, Release to the Wind barely has text if you're not releasing Valki to the wind. So this is kind of like a 5-card hand already, so I'm going to mulligan it. And with the Dig Through Time, it was kind of like a 4-card hand for a while. Alright, this one's much better. We got early interaction, couple of lands. So I think I'm going to bottom Hero's Downfall, because I have 2 other removal spells, plus the Thoughtseize, and Release to the Wind. Although it looks bad in this hand right now, I still think that having access to it for when we draw the Valki is going to be pretty important. Also, something just like tickles me pink about being a blue-black controlled Lurrus deck. I love that. Because like when I see Lurrus across from me, I'm like, oh, we're playing against Burn, we're playing against Prowess, we're playing against like Affinity, I don't know, like some aggro deck, but then just being blue-black control is great. Alright, I'll play the backside of this and get my Thoughtseize on. My opponent is hooked on Phoenix, it seems. I think... So, if I take Opt, that denies their play this turn, but Opt sees fewer cards than any of these other things. So I'm actually going to take strategic planning. That sees the most cards up front, gives them the most options. But now I know that Soul Guide hand, Lantern hand that I mulliganed would have been insane. Just incidentally bonkers against their deck. Ah, come on. I tried so hard. So I'm going to play the Fabled Passage. Because my plan is to cycle this Fetid Pools more than play it, I think. And if they manage to get a Phoenix into play this turn, I can fetch Fatal Push. I guess it's pretty hard to do that on 3 mana. They did find a Phoenix, though. Now I'm not going to pop Fatal Push, or pop the Fabled Passage. Right, now this is a little interesting. I could play Fetid Pools, though having access to Drown is pretty good. Yeah, like, this is a Lurrus deck. Nothing costs 4 mana, so I think cycling this is going to be better long term than not cycling it. I really hope they don't hardcast a Phoenix here. Oh, that's a good spell too. So much for that Drown in the lock. Right, that's number 2. And then they still have the Thrill for number 3. Let's just hope another Phoenix isn't coming. Right, so they went with Chart instead of Thrill. That means they didn't have a Phoenix in hand already. They're still digging for a second one. So if they discard a Phoenix here, it was in their top 2 cards when they cast Chart, of course. Alright, so now I'm gonna survey what mana my deck actually needs. Is double black or double blue more important in this deck? I know Dig Through Time is at the top end, but Hero's Downfall is literally in my hand right now. So yeah, I think I'm gonna go with black mana, or black source. Crisis averted there. And thought seizing this deck never feels great, but here we go. So, Thing in the Ice, I can beat pieces of the puzzle. Wow. That's a powerful card. So if I take... How can I choke their mana? I don't think that I can, because they have 5 mana with 2 1-drops. I guess if I take one of the 1-drops, they might not be able to cast 3 spells this turn. Yeah, so if I take Opt, then I can counter pieces of the puzzle, and Thrill of Possibility doesn't get them where they need to go. Alright, bold strategy. Alright, I think I've committed to playing this land at this point, unfortunately. I danced around it for a while, but didn't find another way to advance my board. Oh, they found it planning. Gross. Alright, they didn't find a second Phoenix there. Well, there's the boy. I know they have Wild Slash in their hand, so I'm not in a hurry to jam this into play. I want 5 mana when I do it. Yeah, but now they have 6 mana available if they want it, plus the Thing in the Ice. Alright, they're starting to pull pretty far ahead here. So, pieces... Yeah, I think it's more important to kill Thing in the Ice at this point than it is to... Yeah, this just ended up working out not well for me. Chart. Oh, they found a third Phoenix. We're fucked. Alright, yeah, I'm dead. Taking 9. I guess I can still draw Extinction Event. Yeah, so I have to... Hero's Downfall, the Thing in the Ice. I take my 9. And then I can top deck Extinction Event. Exactly that to still play this game. Drawn to a 1-outer team. That's not it. So I'm at 5. Tibalt can only remove 1 creature. So I found the combo, but it just doesn't matter. Alright. Yeah, a lot of good redundant cantripping there. Trying to overpower Treasure Cruise with Thoughtseize is a big ask. So convert mana cost 3 or less. Nope, that doesn't do what I need it to. Baneful Stroke, Aether Gust, Erebos' Intervention. This does affect graveyards. That's coming in. Soul Guide Lantern comes in. Enter the God Eternals is pretty powerful. It's a way to gain life, but I don't think it's what I want. Blood Chief Thirst. This Thing in the Ice is in their deck. Drown, Jace, Thoughtseize, Push. I think Push is probably the worst card in the deck right now. I could bring in Deadweight as a engine with Luris. If I do that, what am I cutting? Is it another Fatal Push? Well, I guess that makes sense because I am bringing in a removal spell that combos with Luris for one that doesn't. And like if I just get like ranched by a Thing in the Ice, I'll feel bad that I cut all these Fatal Pushes. But I do still have 5 answers to it. Plus Valki can strip it from the hand. Oh, Drown in the Lock. I still have 7 answers. Yeah, I'm interested in that. And this time I will not mulligan the hand that includes Soul Guide Lantern. Yeah, I think I easily win that game if I just kept my 7, but knowing the matchup, turns out that's kind of important. Alright, Erebos' Intervention. Yep, I have Graveyard Hate. I'm going to keep. And Cantrips and Jace. This is a good hand. This pathway is red on the back to cast Tibalt the hard way if the game goes super long. So that's basically a black source. I do not have double blue right now in this hand. I didn't bring in any of my counterspells because I don't think that that's what's important in this matchup. Like, they just need to cast the spells, they don't need to resolve. I think I'm going to keep this, because if they can remove the first one... Oh, well, didn't need 3, but if they remove the first one, I'll be glad I have a second, and even if they don't kill the first one, looting is what this card does, so I'll be able to find use for the other ones anyway. Alright, we untapped with Jace. A small blessing. So I can opt now, or I could Jace now. Might as well Jace now. I play sorceries in my deck. Like that one. So I can discard the backup Jace. And let's get a look at this hand. I don't mind exposing Valki to a shock here or a counterspell. Like the worst thing they can do is put it in my graveyard and I can get it back with Lurrus later, but I want to use my mana. It's super efficient being able to Valki plus opt this turn. That was a good loot off Jace. And now there's 2 creatures that they want to kill. I don't think they would have brought in like Anger of the Gods in this matchup. It just doesn't make a lot of sense. Quicken, Negate, Strategic Planning, Treasure Cruise. Quicken is interesting. Alright, so I'm going to take the Brazen Borrower, because if I take Phoenix, they can just borrow my Valki anyway. Yeah, I'll take the Brazen Bee. Yes. Alright, they're getting quicker. Quicken's been cast. Brazen Borrower is missing. Quicken Treasure Cruise is quite a combo. So I don't think that the Pioneer card pool can cast 3 spells this turn. There's no free spells. No Phyrexian mana. Alright, so opt time. That's number 4. Don't need that one. Didn't need the 3rd one. Turns out I didn't even need the 2nd one. Alright, we're getting very close to digging here. I could actually dig this turn if I think that's important. Hero's Downfall. So I could discard Jace number 3 and just hope that this one never dies. Though, would they go after Valki first? I kind of want to hit my land drops for Lurrus. So yeah, I'll discard backup Jace and play the front half of this, and then attack for 2. I'm just leaving up Intervention. In case they can fill their graveyard this turn. I see the negate over there, but I don't think that matters. They can also cruise this turn. But I don't think that Intervention will slow that down meaningfully. Okay, so yeah, they can cruise now. I think I would rather let them cruise and then attack their graveyard than try to take them off cruise now, because they'll be able to cruise eventually. I'll fight over the payoffs. Alright, yeah, they're just holding up negate here. Yeah, let's get the clock on. From a 2-1 to a 3-1. We're built for speed. I'm not going to tap out for dig through time straight into their negate. I will flip into a planeswalker though. Alright, so I think I'd rather have the land than the second dig. And I can opt out of the graveyard if I would like, or I could just start plussing and... So if I opt out of the graveyard, it takes me farther away from dig, but I do also get to opt, which is good. Minusing also puts Jace to the... I'm just going to plus for now. And I'm going to play this black side of this card. And I have so many instance and reactive cards right now that I think that making them respond to all of this is reasonable. Especially if they're going to do stuff like hold up negate. I just don't care about that. So if they have a land and 3 1-drops this turn, they can put a Phoenix into play. There's one drop. So if they have like opt, all right. So now if they're gonna cast a third spell, they lose their negate. Or lose the ability to cast negate. They don't lose the card. Twice X cards from graveyards. Also not even sure if I need to do that. Like, I could just Extinction Event, but what's the rush? Wow, they really don't want to get dug through time. I think, unless my opponent has some sort of master, like, macro plan over there that I don't understand, I think that they're falling into a trap of, like, playing not to lose and giving up the ability to play to win. But at the same time, I say that, but I do. I'm also like, I'm not sure who's going to win this game of chicken. All right, I'll opt this time around. Dead weight is solid. Play my land. Still not ready to wish for Luris. Alright, so 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. 1, 1, 2, 1. So they can leave up negate if they have 2 1-drops and a 2 this time. They're approaching. The good news is I just have a fistful of answers. If they win the fight over Erebos' intervention, then I can Extinction Event. Like, I lose my Jace, but whatever. Luris is coming. It's also nice that this is a Brazen Borrower now, so it costs 3, so I don't lose my Valki to Extinction Event. Alright, I can downfall that. That also dies to Extinction Event. Alright, so let's see if they want to use that negate they've been holding up forever. Because I am representing Dig Through Time. Alright, there's the negate. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Alright, I can't actually dig because I cast that opt. But that's okay. I can spew Jace to Hero's Downfall again. I can just dig, see what happens. I can Extinction Event. I have so many options. Unfortunately, I can't deadweight Luris deadweight because this would just make this an X2. I don't think Jace is actually super important in my plan right now. Yeah, I'll target Hero's Downfall. Bring it down. Play my land. I guess I could just exile a bunch of cards from their graveyard right now. Yeah, they're tapped out. Like, what am I trying to trick them into doing? I guess adding a third Phoenix to the graveyard is the answer to that question. Yeah, like there was a safe window to just exile 6 cards from their graveyard, which would make Treasure Cruise a lot harder to cast and get rid of half their Phoenixes. But I guess I am just... Maybe I'm playing greedy. I'm not sure. I'm either playing smart or greedy. It's one or the other. And they're not necessarily mutually exclusive. So we'll see, I guess. They know I have something because I haven't put Luris in my hand yet, despite having all this mana. I'm actually at 7 mana right now, so it's kind of lame that this is on the black side. Alright, so that's 3 spells. It's go time one way or the other. Cast another spell. Let's see if they have another negate. But like the previous turns, like even if they have something here, I can untap into Extinction Event. Alright, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. How'd we do? Alright, they're tapping mana, they have Izzet Charm. Okay, so I could have played around that if I knew they had it, but good to know. I still have the Extinction event, no worries. Oh, and I can release my Valki to the wind as well. Alright, let's exile the evens. You're all out of there. Now the question is, do I just maintain my beatdown with Brazen Borrower, or do I release to the wind? Release is an instant. I can just hold my horses, but this card is actually just like beating down right now. Alright, sure. Looks like I'm releasing to the wind. Yeah, them having up counter magic, potential counter magic is lame. If they go to kill this thing, I'll just release it. Alright. So they get to scry 2, and then I can release on the end step. That gives them their Brazen Borrower back, though, which I'm not super stoked about. But it's fine. Okay, so I'm going to cast Tibalt Cosmic Imposter. And then I believe I want to exile this creature and cast it. Thoughtseize their 7-card hand. They do have Brazen Borrow, which can bounce their Crackling Drake back to their own hand. I do know about that. Oh, they have a lot of bounce spells. Alright. Treasure Cruise. I'll take the Brazen Borrower, though. Am I dead? Did I lose to this? I may have just completely blew it. So this thing has prowess, and I'm at 9. Let's hope they focus on Valki. And not my face. Yeah, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, I could definitely just lose this game now. I feel like I messed this up somewhere. Maybe I'm not supposed to leave up dig through time. Like if I tap differently, I can deadweight the Stormwing, and that saves me some damage. Okay, good. They're focusing on Valki and not my face. And they had a pretty good path to lethal there, I think. Alright, so Unsubstantiate's been cast. Brazen Borrower is gone. I think I want to let this resolve. Like, I know giving them an extra card isn't good, but this will be a good test. Do I play around Izzet Charm? How many of those do they play? They could have Thrilled or Cruise. They could have done any of these things and didn't. Interesting. So, I'm pretty much dead if this dig doesn't work. Laris 1/2/3 1/2/3 and cast a 1-drop. They didn't have a counterspell. I don't know. I'm just gonna have to hope they're bluffing. Well, they weren't bluffing. Alright, feeling pretty dead here. Oh, let's do that again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 8. Alright, so Fatal Push, Fabled Passage does start to answer these things. Fabled Passage. Gonna get a black source. Get rid of this. Drink this. And give me my Luris. Alright, not feeling good about this situation. There is one Phoenix left in their deck. They have a prowess creature with me at 9, and their hand is full of spells. And I had to exile my whole graveyard, so I can't even like Valki or Jace off of Luris. Oh, Treasure Cruise is such a good card in control matchups. And by control matchups, I mean Magic the Gathering. Treasure Cruise is messed up. I still can't shake the feeling that I messed up this game somehow, like on the Valki turn or something. I think that dig through time, like they had enough pressure that I couldn't really afford to play around soft permission, but then I just jammed into the soft permission anyway. Maybe I'm supposed to dig in response to Crackling Drake's draw trigger. Alright, they're up to 5. If they found a Phoenix, I lose, because that's 3 extra damage. Alright, no Phoenix there. Rill still didn't discard a Phoenix. Alright, I don't know anything in their hand anymore. They had a Phoenix. Alright. They found one right at the very end. Yeah, that was tough. We definitely got buried by Treasure Cruise, but yeah, I think the turn where I could have exiled their graveyard on my turn, and just pressured the Cruise, stripped the 2 Phoenix, maybe I think I got too greedy there and I should have just done it. I think that was the turn that was really the tough one. Also getting Izzet Charmed, like I saw Negate, I couldn't play around Mystical Dispute, and I just didn't think about Izzet Charm or Spell Pierce, so maybe I could have removed some number of Phoenix and still had my spell resolve. I'm not sure, that was a really tight game. Alright, I'm on the draw against a Yorion deck. I'm going to keep this. I have a Turbo Tibalt here. This is the turn 3 Dream Curve. Just see what they can do to mess it up. Alright, perfect. I was just going to say I would really like to draw a Swamp or Island to unlock the Drowned Catacombs in my hand. And I drew both. Let's figure out what this Yorion deck is doing. Jeskai in Pioneer. Alright, well, let's get a look. I have 2 of this if it doesn't work. Show me your secrets. No creatures. Right. No counterspells either, though. Good to know. Omen. makes a bird. And these are a lot of highly blinkable permanents. It's good deck building. I hope they tap out on their turn for like Narset or some garbage. Even better. Alright, so this is a 2-1, not a 2-2, so I don't get to attack. But I do get to release it to the wind. Tibalt, let's go. I think I should just start Blessing. Alright, already made my land drop, can't do anything with that. Chain to the Rocks is pretty awkward. I don't have any mountains, I promise. This Raven's Warning, Chapter 3, could answer Tibalt. They're going to get their draw a card here. Oh, wait. Look at that player's hand and draw a card. Oh, there's two things. This Raven knows all sorts of important information. Oh, you're a fire deck. Jeez. Oh, I thought Tibalt was good. Oh, no. Okay, that doesn't actually do anything because I have the emblem. They just take my Tibalt. Please activate it. Please activate it. Please activate it. And it removes Tibalt from play, which sucks, but like I still have the emblem. So if they just don't activate it, all right, yeah, they fucked up. They shouldn't have done that. All right, well, Birth of Melodus and Chain to the Rocks are not exactly the things I was looking for. Drown in the Lock versus this 7-drop isn't great. They can Yorion next turn. Yikes. I have quickly died to this deck. Wow. Alright. Don't think there is much of anything to do here. Like, they're gonna start blinking Agent. Can I get cards in their graveyard somehow for Yorion? They get to put something on top of their deck with Raven's Warning and then draw it with Yorion this turn and cast it for free. They are going just all the way off over there. Play this card. That doesn't do anything. Soul Guide Lantern. That hurts my Drown in the Lock more than it helps anything I'm doing. The second Valki obviously isn't going to do anything. The first one didn't. Yeah, maybe I just have to leave up all my mana and hope they mess up somehow. Yeah, I don't have a basic planes in my deck. I don't think a 0/4 wall is going to help me. Enchant Mountain you control. Yep, don't have any mountains either. I guess I can hope that they miss their land drop. That would save me a turn of Yorion. Nope. No chance. This, being a tricksy blue-black deck is not helpful in the face of this punching you hard in the face Fires of Invention deck. So having counterspells for fire is going to be pretty important. Oh, Chandra Awakened Inferno's in this deck too. This is great. I'm having a good time. So they can attack. Alright, they've played 2 spells though, so they can't wish for Yori on this turn. I can cycle Fetid Pools. I have not drawn any cards this turn yet. Narset won't stop me. So I might as well take out this bird. This release to the wind, releasing my own Tibalt from their side of the board would be pretty good. Alright, that doesn't hurt. That takes a lot of the pressure off. So I don't have anything to do with 1 mana anyway. Maybe I should just play the Fetid Pools from exile. Alright, so I'll remove odds. This card costs 7. Not that I'm going to beat this Chandra anyway. Yeah, she's really good. Fires of Invention was banned in Standard, by the way. This is the smallest format you're allowed to play that card in. Right, this Scry is probably looking for land number 6 to go off with Shark Typhoon plus Chandra. Then you get a 6/6 right away, and you get Chandra. Yeah, that'll do. Okay, I'm not beating that. I wasn't beating their board 3 turns ago, and it's only gotten better. Alright, so I gotta manage a Fires of Invention. So Duress is coming in for sure. Counter spells, very important. Disdainful Stroke and Negate are better than Dispute. But Dispute is also not bad. It's terrible if they get Fires into play, because they'll just always have their mana. And then Aether Gust can answer a Fires from play, but I'm hoping it doesn't get there. So Fatal Push. Does Transmogrify target? I'm gonna have to look that card up real quick. Because if they can't turn their token into a an agent, exile target creature. That creature's controller reveals cards. Alright, yeah, so it's just a red polymorph and it does target. So Fatal Push does have text. It's just not much text. Pretty sure Extinction Event's bad. Soul Guide Lantern is not what I'm looking for. Jace is a little dirtily. Yeah, I think I can lose some of these Fatal Pushes. So if these 4 cards come in, then is there anything else left in the deck that's just really bad? And Bloodchief's Thirst can kill Planeswalker, which is pretty important in this matchup. Yeah, really I guess the decision point here is, do I want to use Fatal Push to fight Transmogrify or Mystical Dispute? And I guess it's probably Dispute. I'm not excited about any of it. Aether Gust can also interact with Big Chandra. So maybe I'll split the Disputes and Gust, one of each. Alright, this is the deck that I can present. Let's do it. Yeah, this deck that they're playing, I played 1 time in Standard, and it was for one of those arena opens, and I won $1,000. Like, I had never played the deck before, and it was just easy money. So as much as I hate losing value of a cycling land, I will play this card. I think I'm going to need my land drops for this matchup. Like, all of them. I am worried how reactive my hand is. Like, the double dig through time will be good someday, but it's pretty bad right now. Earth of Melodus. Yeah, alright. I'm not going to fight over that. Basically, none of the modes on that card matter. Oh, there he is. I will cast Valki. Let's just get him into play. Alright, so rest in peace. I forgot that card was legal in this format. That sucks. Deafening Clarion is rough. Alright, well, they can't Transmogrify this turn. Yeah, that does make a token for that to happen, though. Probably just gonna Clarion here. Yeah. Oh, I tried so hard. So Clarion's gone. Now they can just be a control deck. They don't even have to do anything. It's brutal. Raven's Warning. Is this something I want to fight over? And probably. It's another token, it's another card, it's card selection. Just pretty good all around. Okay, not bad. So Nahiri the Harbinger, Omen of the Sea, Rest in Peace, Shark Typhoon. I'm pretty sure Rest in Peace is just the scariest card in this hand. One, two, three, four cards. All right. Yeah, like, I'm in the shitty position of needing both lands and spells. It's just never where you want to be. For obvious reasons. I think like Fabled Passage is one of my better draws. Because that's like 2 mana for a Dig Through Time. And Dig Through Time is the way I'm gonna pull back into this game. Like Shark Typhoon's pretty scary. That does a lot of work to just create pressure where I don't want there to be pressure. Alright, Jace is a good one. They're gonna have to react to this. So they can make a 3/3 Shark in the end step if they want to. I have answers to that. Their hand, at least last time I saw it, was pretty heavy. Like mana heavy. So unless they found like negate to back up there. Alright, yeah, I'm just gonna have to let that happen. Yeah, have like finding a 1-mana spell that matters to interact with my board here. It's rough. I'm gonna drown in the lock the shark in the end step. Unless they cast a spell that I have to counter. Alright, this looks like Nahiri. Yeah, so yeah, like Transmogrify is also scary, but removal spells can answer that. So yeah, I'll Disdainful Stroke this. And then Drown can counter, in air quotes, Transmogrify even if they can remove their graveyard somehow. Because it can kill the token. So Drown, 1, 2, 3, 4. There's... Oh, I could also just release to the wind the shark token. Yeah, I'm gonna shock this in. Oh, I could just get Luris. Yeah, I'm gonna do that. Alright, they have a lot of mana. Enough to double spell. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3. Yeah, their scariest things cost 4. Yeah, I don't want to release the shark to the wind. I want to release Valki to the wind. So I can drown the shark now, but that is my answer to other things, so that's a no. I can play Valki, or play Luris, or I can opt to try to hit my land. Oh, how greedy am I? What does Luris do? It offsets the life I'm losing to this shark, and it sets up a threat for next turn. Alright, so there's Luris. If they can kill Luris, they're just gonna get it. Like if they just have, I don't know, some removal spell. Oh god. It's another shark. 5, 6, 7, 8. Alright, so I'm at 2 if all this happens. Yeah, so that was really good because if I kill the shark, I'm tapped out. And then they can Transmogrify and steal my Luris. So I'm just going to go to 2. Doing what I gotta do here. Fuck. Alright. That sucks. So if they go for Transmogrify on their small shark or on their 0-4, that would have been pretty safe for them to do there. But I am dead to their shark. I'm at 2. Perfect. Alright, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Alright, so I can opt and dig. That was actually an excellent card. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Alright, so I'm dead to the shark already. So I think I need to take Valki and Duress. So Valki's pretty bad because I have to release the shark to the wind. So maybe Jace is better than Valki. Though whatever it is going to get transmogrified. Yeah, I'm just 1 mana short of getting the Duress plus release here. I think I have to play to my outs. What do I have? 2 more releases in the deck? Yeah, I'll take Valki and Duress. Okay. So, gonna pass a turn. They're gonna get to Transmogrify. If they have another Shark Typhoon, I just lose. Their deck is so cool. I love it. Yeah, I didn't have 3 mana in the end step to release to the wind the chain. Yeah, on a token, this is just exile it, and it's gone. But now they get to do whatever they want. Oh, Hesycha's Chariot. I can't beat that either. And Narset, cool. So if I can remove one of these cats, then maybe there's a chance. Alright, This is not looking good. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, but I don't have my black source. Double Transmogrify in hand. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Oh shit! This is a red land. What the fuck? This I didn't recognize. I just. Oh my god. Well, so it doesn't really matter because I play Valki, I exile a cat, they attack for 2. It doesn't matter, but that is a red land. I thought that all of the blue pathways were black on the back. Just good thing they put this little strip of red there for me to notice. All right, so got overpowered by another control deck. And on the play in round 3, I'm going to keep this hand. I can opt into Valki. I have Soul Guide Lantern just in case they're Phoenix again. Yeah, so the impression I've gotten from the last 2 games, at least, is that being like cute and tricky in Pioneer is worse than just being powerful. Like our last 2 opponents have definitely had more powerful decks than us, even though we have a very cool deck. Like you can also bring to light Valki and cast Tibalt, and I think that the 5-color or 4 or 5-color bring to light decks are probably just more powerful and interesting than trying to be low to the ground like this. I'll take more lands in my control deck, for sure. Alright, let's find out if they're Phoenix. They did play Spire Bluff Canal, so there's a chance they're actually Phoenix. Alright, he's in there. Okay, so strategic planning wild slash. Alright, so they can just slash my fella. There it is. Alright, it still says I know 7 cards. Oh, because I saw the Storming Entity. Yep, alright. So they can just wild slash this, get their thing back. Pretty smooth. Oh, the good news is they actually are Phoenix. So this Soul Guide Lantern is not a complete meme. Right, there's some planning. Normally I'm terrified of that card, but Soul Guide Lantern does a lot of work. Yes. I was just about to say, we got to figure out how we're going to beat this Storming Entity, though. That's a good answer. Storming Entity is a Charmed Chart, of course. Yeah, if we strip the actual beater and Soul Guide Lantern, you get in there. Get rid of Entity. Casual main deck Soul Guide Lantern, no big deal. So I'll just sit that and play a normal game around it for a while. Let's get Luris. So they're going to be looking for their Crackling Drakes and Storming Entities now, or just start hardcasting Phoenixes. All of which are actually pretty tough for me to deal with my current hand, as these dig through times are not exactly coming out quick. And I've seen the Izzet Charm over there. So there is a line where I can pop this to draw a card, Luris, cast this right away, exile a card from their graveyard, and I basically get a card. It exposes Luris, but That's probably fine. I could also just cast Lurrus and Valki next turn. Which is probably better than what I just said. I don't really want to expose Lurrus to the Izzet Charm removal spell that I know they have. Right, there is a Phoenix, so they're trying to overwhelm my Lantern. Maybe not. That was their first spell for the turn. Yeah, no rush there. So do I want to do... No, because they're holding up Izzet Charm, so the... Hello. This could change things significantly. Oh no, their whole hand is just still all the same shit. Alright, so... Chart a Course is probably the best card in this hand. They have 3 removal spells for draw 2, discard 1, draw 2, discard 2. Yeah, so this Chart a Course is a cantrip. Izzet Charm is actually card negative. Draw 2, discard 2, plus you spend the Izzet Charm itself. So Chart a Course is the one I'm taking here. They'll eventually just have to do something else with their Izzet Charms. Like, they're gonna have to loot to find some action. Yeah, if they want to play the... Maybe I should be bombing them, just in case they draw Treasure Cruise. Oh, they just drew Treasure Cruise. I figured it out like 1 second too late. Yeah, I think nuking the graveyard there would have been pretty reasonable, just on my end step, or on my turn. So that's 1 spell. 2 spells. The good news is if they want to cast a 3rd spell, then they're tapped out of Izzet Charm, and then I can Lurrus plus Re-Lantern. Or I could end step dig, Lurrus, Re-Lantern. That's even better. The dig does get rid of the Valki in my graveyard for Lurrus. Oh, Fiery Temper. That's fun. They're the aggro version. I'll let them go to combat and then bomb them. Alright, that's handled. Let's see if they play Spell Pierce in the main. Alright, you have a spell. You have a delve spell. I have a delve spell. Everyone's delving. So I could get land Valki. If I do that, then I have Lurrus, Soul Guide Lantern, plus check their hand for another creature. I know about the Lava Axe, though, so getting Valki probably, it doesn't matter much here. Drown in the Lock could be good eventually, though they are pretty good at controlling it with their cruises. So I think I want the Valki just for the future. Like, that is my win condition, so I'm gonna get Valki, and I think I want Opt as well. Valki, Opt. Do I like Opt better than Drown? I think I do. Alright. That's my plan. Sticking to it. Lurrus. The Hero's Downfall was a good find. That will answer shit like Storming Entity or Crackling Drake. Oh. Apparently that's not optional, so my dig is gone, but whatever. My next dig will cost a little more. So do they want a Lava Axe or do they want Izzet Charm? Like, Luris is not surviving the turn. I'm not getting it back. Yeah, this is reminiscent of game 1, where it felt like there was nothing we could do against their inevitability. And this is the exact opposite, where it feels like there's not much they can do against Soul Guide Lantern. I mean, the first one only got 1 Phoenix, though, to be fair. So they do still have 3 more. And once they answer Luris, that's all of my lanterns gone. So the next one has to be very careful. Like, I'm ready for Thing in the Ice, ready for Storming Entity. They saved their Lightning Axe. Building up to another dig. There's another dig. Yeah, so I can dig in the end step now. I don't have a way to get Luris back into my hand from my graveyard. I'm a little worried about these Fiery Tempers. I mean, they've already used 2 of them, and that's probably all the burn they have in the deck. Like, I basically have to operate like I'm at 5 life. Alright, Heroes D. There's another Phoenix in the graveyard. But now they can just, like, take it slow and just play that Phoenix. Like, make me answer that Phoenix a bunch of times and then hit me with the other one. Bonus Valki. I'm actually going to take this because I can cast it, check their hand, I can clear that Lava Axe, and this puts a card in my graveyard. Ooh, Thing in the Ice. Alright, cool. I can just become a 0/4 if I want to. So, Cruise, Planning, Charm. So now we have that choice to make again of Cruise, Planning. I deleted the Charm. But, so, do I bomb them now to take them off Cruise? Is this where I lost the last game? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I don't know. This is so hard. Oh, we'll see. Like, if they Izzet Charm Valki, I can make it a 0/4 in response. Wait, can I make it huge in response? Oh, wait. Oh, no, it can't flip. Right. Whenever you cast an then it has... Oh, then if it has none. Alright, so this can't transform into Awoken Horror. And also, you can't trick the game into flipping this into Tibalt. Like, that's just not how flip cards work. If you copy a flip card, it just doesn't have a back. Unfortunately, this does not work how we'd want it to. But also, Tibalt, as it enters the battlefield, creates the emblem, and like, Tibalt doesn't do much without the emblem. So even if we could just, like, trick the game into transforming this card in play, it doesn't do what we want it to. Alright, so there's the Cruise. I've made my bed to not play into that, or not try to control that. This thing is pretty scary, though. So they're letting me go to my turn. Alright. Lightning Axe is an instant. There's no reason not to. Fabled Passage is great. That's 2 mana for Dig Through Time. Alright, so I'm just gonna dig. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Let's try to find the wind before it's too late. Izzet Charm, can't counter this right now, I have lots of mana. They're charming Valki. Aha! It's a 0/4. Oh, they're gonna have to spend a second card on this now. That worked out really well. Second and third card, because Lightning Axe makes you discard. Alright, there's that. Thing in the ice with 2 damage on it. Alright, Lightning Axe, sure, that one's fine. Yeah, we ended up getting 3 cards out of that. That was insane. They get their Thing in the Ice back, though. But, okay, so Drown in the Lock and Fatal Push are both pretty good here. Thoughtseize, Fatal Push. Is Thoughtseize better? My life total's pretty low. Alright, so Fatal Push answers the Thing in the Ice, so I know I want to do that. Is Thoughtseize somewhere I want to be? Like, I could just hold up Drown in the Lock, or I could Thoughtseize and Fatal Push the Thing. Stripping something like Treasure Cruise here would be insane. Alright, yeah, I'm gonna go with the Thoughtseize. As good as Extinction Event is. Yeah, this is also 2 spells for in the graveyard for the next dig. Let's keep the velocity. Oh, they had 2 of them. You maniac. Alright, well, I'm gonna take Izzet Phoenix. I'm gonna put it in the graveyard where I can get it. And I can't fight through. I couldn't take a Treasure Cruise anyway, because I can't beat them. But I can start to run them out of win conditions, at least. So I'm not going to Fatal Push Thing in the Ice this turn. The only counterspell in their main deck is Izzet Charm that I know of. And like, I didn't want to play into it if the card that they drew for the turn was Izzet Charm. Like, I can push this thing anytime. I had another Fabled Passage to feed my hungry Dig Through Times. I have a lot of black and a lot of blue, a lot of everything. One, two, three, four, 5, 6, 7, 8. Alright, we found the release. And let's see, Bloodchief Thirst or Extinction Event. I don't think it's Drowned in the Lock. Because they can control their graveyard really well. Yeah, I think it's Release and... But Drown can fight over... Yeah, I actually think it is Drown. Alright. Yeah, because Drown can fight over the release. I think when I go for that next turn, that's a game we can play. Maybe. We'll see. So 1. Yeah, they're in kind of an interest. Like, I don't know how many win conditions they actually play. 2. Like, if they should just delve away their phoenixes because I can bomb them anyway, like, is that a line they should be taking? Or do they actually need those to win the game? Alright, so that's the third spell. I think that's all 4 dig through times. Alright, get rid of your graveyards. Alright, so now drawing the lock's bad again. I'm hoping they place a couple more spells, like, or even if they just like throw a possibility, that'll give me the cards I need. Alright, so do they have Spell Pierce in the main? They do have Wild Slash in the main, so not having any cards in their graveyard is actually super punishing right now. Oh, but I guess Valki gets to look at their hand. So I should be able to know if they can mess me up or not. Yeah, they have Wild Slashes, Arclight Phoenix. So if I take Merchant of the Veil, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, yeah, I can turn it into a 2/3 in response to Wild Slash. Oh, I can't beat Lightning Axe though. Fuck. Alright, so I'm gonna take the Arclight Phoenix and try to pretend I'm weak to that. I don't know if I... Oh, but they have Spikefield Hazard... Oh, wow, no, they just had me beat. I fucked that up. I had to go for the... Yeah, I had to go for the Merchant. And I just didn't. Like, if I take Merchant, and then... No, but they can see the release. I don't know. Alright, so the Haggle's been cast. Arclight Phoenix is under here. Merchant of the Veil's in exile. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3. So they have 3 direct damage to any target. To any target. Yeah, they can put me to 1. But I do have Drown. So Wild Slash. Targeting me. So that's 5, 6, 7. So if they Spikefield Hazard, I could just release to the wind the entity. It's not good though. I guess I could have jumped in the air and blocked it with my Arclight Phoenix. Alright, I'm at 2. Alright, so I can Drown in the Lock that. Did we do it? Alright, this is going to be close, team. Alright, that makes it a lot easier. So I get to attack. And the lightning axe is still a problem. Now I have drown for it. Oh, lightning axe is such a beating. So if I release this to the wind, they'll try to spike it in response. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4. I can make it bigger in response, but then they have lightning axe and I'm dead to this thing. Maybe I needed to play blocking duty. But if they axe 3, if I release to the wind Stormwing entity, so if they lightning axe, oh, this gives them the Phoenix though, if I do this. And that's a haste creature that I also mostly can't beat. Ugh. They just have me in check so hard here. I needed to do what I needed to do last turn, I think. And drown in the lock. This is a 5-drop, even though it costs 2. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. It would cost me most of my mana to dig through time. Though there is still a... Yeah, them getting the Phoenix back, if all of this fails, is the hardest part. Or if it succeeds. Like, they get the Phoenix either way. This is really tough. Yeah, I'm 1 mana short of transforming this into Phoenix and still having up drown. And maybe I just have to hope they fuck up somehow. Right, so if I pass the turn, what happens? Oh, they just have Brazen Borrower too. That's what happens. Okay, so I guess what I have to do is drown in the lock Brazen Borrower. Then I can dig through time. 1, 2, 3. Does that even help? What am I looking for if that happens? Ugh. Alright, so I'll counter that. One, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, I don't think I have a play. I guess releasing to the Windstormwing entity is my play. God, that sucks. Oh, and they just drew Wild Slash off the top too. Okay. That'll do. And that was game 1, jeez. Yeah, so it turns out Treasure Cruise, still just a hell of a magic card against those of us without Treasure Cruise, or people trying to play fair. I think my plan last time involved these cards, Fatal Push, I was not excited about. And did I just cut 3 pushes last time? Or am I just supposed to cut Thoughtseize because Treasure Cruise is going to bury me anyway? Or Bloodchief's Thirst is worse than Fatal Push in this matchup most of the time. Alright, I mean, let's do this again, I guess. Yeah, Treasure Cruise, when I'm a blue-black Luris deck, just trying to be clever, but getting pounded. I would really prefer to be on that side of the matchup. Just power over cleverness in Pioneer definitely is the lesson I'm taking from what we've seen so far. Alright, so on the play here, this hand's reasonable. I'll keep it. There's no specific hate in the hand, but it does opt into Jace, and that's a pretty strong start. Their burn heavy build is pretty scary though, with the Wild Slashes and Fiery Tempers and Spike Field Hazard. Okay, Basic Mountain. That looks like a Wild Slash if I ever saw one. I'm going to manage my red sources a little more carefully this game because the last game went really long and just casting Tibalt could have been a thing at some point. Oh my god, I'm surprised. But I have Fatal Push if they have the thing in the ice here. Not having double black. I also have been running into a lot of dig through times, like maybe playing 4 isn't the right number. Like, it seems silly to play less than the most that you can of a card like that. But at the same time, like, it's been pretty bad to draw 2 the whole time. I'm putting Lurrus in my hand because I'm not bluffing anything, and they don't have a Phoenix in their graveyard, and it's hard to cast 3 spells on 3 mana in their deck anyway. And none of their 1 mana spells put Phoenix in the graveyard. There's no Faithless Looting in the format. Thank God for that. Alright, so time to draw a black source before I just die to this thing. Yeah, this being the red one is actually super punishing right now. Alright, black mana, off the top, untapped, black source. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Perfect. Wasn't a black source, but it'll do right now. Yeah, I miss my land drop. I don't have double black. If they should be smelling weakness over there. They found a Phoenix. We're approaching the danger zone. No 1 mana spells, please. That might be somehow worse than a 1 mana spell. Alright, so again, we're live to draw a black source and answer this thing. Black source. Fuck. Well, we're in trouble, team. Yeah, missing your land drops in control mirrors is never remotely reasonable. Missing a whole color. The technology of maybe someday I'll cast Tibalt is coming at the expense of maybe someday I'll play my game plan. No, yeah, we're fucked. I have the Fatal Push for the Arclight Phoenix. I just have to hope it's not bringing any friends with it. Alright, so I think the only way to get a Phoenix into their graveyard with 1 red mana would be to Lightning Axe their own Stormwing. So Storming Entity's too big, even with Revolt. It's a 5-drop. Cannot be slain. So cards in my graveyard. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I can dig and tap out to do it. Yeah, I think that makes sense right now. This is obviously a desperation act, but I am in fact desperate, so spot the lie. Alright, so if I take land Thoughtseize, I can check their hand, but it does cost me 2 life in this racing situation. If I take land, they just get to do what they want for a whole turn, and that's about the only options I have. There's no Fabled Passage here, and there's no Soul Guide Lantern, so if they can assert themselves with Phoenix, they get me. Alright, I think that I just want a Thoughtseize here. Like, losing 2 life in this racing situation facing down Storming Entity is just about the worst. But I'm already pretty far behind, I gotta hope for the best. I basically needed to hope that they didn't have a bunch of Treasure Cruises in their hand, but they do. So, Merchant of the Veil, they just have 2 pair, so there's not even like an effective thing I can strip from their hand that changes the texture of it. Crackling Drake doesn't actually do much. Like, if they... Is that even true? No, if they just cast Crackling Drake, then I have to spend a whole turn answering that, and then get blown out by... then still get picked apart by the Storming Entity. But I could just die to the Storming Entity if they string together a bunch of spells. So I think that Merchant of the Veil is actually the take here. It's all bad though. Like, we're not winning this game. Let me be clear. So they can Merchant, Cruise, do anything at all. Oh, they didn't even go for the Phoenix. Or the Prowess triggers. Yeah, they're just going for Drake. Okay. That's the other line I described that I was a little worried about. But I think I would have died this turn instead of next turn if I left them with Drake, or if I took Drake, they just get to go off. Alright, so I drew Deadweight in the hand that's already choking for black mana. Yeah, definitely just losing this one. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yeah, we're dead on board. That's a bummer after playing so many sweet back and forth games to just lose to my mana base, but is what it is. Next round. Alright, I'm on the play with a hand that looks pretty good. We'll see if this actually... I'm beginning to think that this deck is just, like, not good enough for Pioneer. I mean, I know I haven't played perfectly, or I've had some tough decisions that didn't break my way, but if Thoughtseize into Jace on the play doesn't do the trick, I don't know what's going to. Alright, so this affects attacking creatures, and my deck doesn't do a lot of that. So I'm going to take Narset. Because my plan is based around Jace. And it's looting. Alright, Blue-White Dartletown is what we're playing against. They don't have Little Teferi anymore, that card got banned. So... Alright, well, I am counting desperately on this Jace to work, because look at all these lands. The good news is I'm not sure, like do they play Baffling End? Do they play Seal Away? Like, what 2-mana removal spell could they have? But only one of those affects Jace before I get a loot out of it. Alright, so they did not have that basic island last time I saw their hand. Hello, Valki. Good to see you. So I think I want to discard basic something. The red land... Yeah, I think blue's more important than black in this particular matchup, and I want the Fabled Passage so I can fetch. That's an extra card in my graveyard. For future Dig Through Times and for flipping Jace. This is not going to hit anything, I don't think. But I don't mind having it in play, getting another look at their hand. Okay, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 cards. They picked up a second Azorius Charm. So it would be a good turn to draw Escape to the Winds. Yeah, I do have to be careful of Supreme Verdict. It would be a shame to get blown out by a card like that in a matchup where I barely have creatures in my deck. So they played the Irrigated Farmland rather than hold it up to cycle it. Makes me think they didn't draw another land. Okay, black, black. I have a lot of... My hand is full of blue, so yeah, I'll just keep getting black. Valki. So if I attack and they Azorius Charm on the top of its owner's library, yeah, I mean, that denies them a cycle. And I'm not really doing anything with Valki right now. So getting in for 2 seems fine. Alright, sweet. Right, I'm not going to need all these fatal pushes. I'll grab Luris while we're here. I'm not really bluffing anything. Like, Supreme Verdict's uncounterable, and Teferi on turn 5 is the next like scary part of this game. So right now is a good time to grab Luris. I'm gonna get to flip Jace this turn if he's still around. Alright, come seal away. Who are we sealing? So I can Fatal Push my Jace. That puts a card... Yeah, I like that. Yeah, so this gives me the ability to Luris the Jace back up instead of being exiled forever. Like, I don't think Fatal Push is going to do much in the matchup. They can't dig with this mana. They don't have the cards in hand. They have 3 cards in hand. If one of them's a land, they get to Teferi next turn. I would really like to Escape to the Winds this turn. But nay, it's another Fatal Push. Just keep getting my beats in and hope they don't have Supreme Verdict. I am playing this on the red side because I think this game is going to go long, and I have a backup Tibalt in hand. Alright. I've either overwhelmed them or I've just played straight into Supreme Verdict, and there's not really space in between. They have another Azorius Charm. Alright, cool. Yeah, Supreme Verdict would be absolutely devastating. It's weird when you're rooting for them to just jam Teferi. Or if they want to miss their land drop and do nothing. Or play a tapped land and pass the turn. That would all be good for me. But they have Castle Ardenvale, and they could have sequenced it so Castle comes into play this turn. Alright, they jam the Teferi. So they can plus Teferi. Okay, they tucked Luris. That's fine. Go tuck yourself, Luris. Alright, let's discard another Fatal Push to become the Telepath Unbound. I'm going to attack Teferi. And then I'm going to Thoughtseize my opponent. Taking that Dig Through Time should be pretty good here. Or maybe I don't have to because I can just Soul Guide Lantern them. Dig and Absorb. So do I care about Absorb? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. They do have quite a bit of mana, but not that much. I guess the question is, would I rather draw a card with Soul Guide Lantern? And the answer is almost certainly yes. So, alright, I'm going to take Dig Through Time. And their hand is just Absorb and some lands right now. So, play my backup Jace and Soul Guide Lantern. This will knock out Teferi. I don't know if they do anything with their graveyard. I don't know if this matters. Yeah, so Jace is not optional. If you have 5 cards in your graveyard, he does flip. So that's important to note. They're probably going to strip my... Okay, cool. They didn't strip my red source, which means I get to draw Luris right now. Cool. I was a little worried about them trying to shuffle my Luris away. So they have Absorb and a Mystery card. So I think I should just draw a card with Lantern. Because if I can, like, Thoughtseize Luris here, or even just hit my land drops, ooh, that's a good one. So if I dig, then I can start looting with Jace, but I'm not going to give them the easy Absorb. I'm going to make them answer the board before I do anything else. What did they draw? Dig? Oh, Sphinx's Rev. That's cool too. One, two, three, four, 5, 6, 7, 8. I'm going to leave Lantern in the graveyard. Bloodchief Thirst is actually really good. We're at the point of the game where it can kill a Teferi. So I'm going to take Bloodchief Thirst and a land. I'll take the backup red source in case they do Field of Ruin me. That was a really good top deck from this board state, though. Wow. Let's refill the old grip. So this is land number 6. Valki, or Tibalt, is approaching. Supreme Verdict, alright. Let's loot in response. I don't need this many Tibalts. That's gone. They know about Luris. A Thoughtseize would be a great draw. So play this. So I can lose Jace to cast Dig. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. That also removes my entire Luris package here. So I could play Luris, let it get absorbed, Or I can, and like, just try to jam the Tibalt next turn. Or I can plus Jace and just play a little slower. Alright, yeah, I think giving myself the option to dig through time next turn could be pretty interesting. Especially if they ever use this Field of Ruin. That would feed the dig. I don't like just passing the turn against blue-white control, but I do have a Planeswalker that's active and a handful of things that they're scared of. One of them they know about and one of them they don't. And if I ever just draw Thoughtseize to check their hand, it gets a lot more interesting. So if I dig now, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And then I can pivot jam Luris, but I don't have a graveyard anyway. So I don't think that's what I want to do. Yeah, I'm just going to tick up this Jace, make them do something about that. Oh no, they have another Sphinx's Rev. Or wow, Shark Typhoon would be even worse. Fuck. Well, 5 is the number that my Jace is on. Yeah, they're a much better tap out deck, or leaving up their mana deck than I am. Maybe I was supposed to jam Luris, clear the Absorb, and then try to Valki. Yuck. Alright, well, at least I can answer the Shark. Who digs a good one? Dig is the type of card that might draw a counterspell out of them. Ooh. Sinister Sabotage. Okay, so they drew another counterspell, so their hand is Absorb, Hallowed Fountain, and a mystery card. One, two. Do I still have my land drop? Yeah. 3, 4. 5, 6, 7, 8. So if they absorb this, I get Luris. Alright, they didn't absorb it. That's cool. So I want Hero's Downfall and Opt. So I can take 5 once. Alright, it's gonna be 6 actually. Yeah, we're starting to turn the corner where this is bad for me. Alright, there's the Hallowed Fountain they've been holding forever. So I'm not going to kill the Shark right now in combat, because if they play Teferi second main, I'm more scared of that. Right, they fought over the Shark last time. I hope they didn't draw Censor. That would be pretty embarrassing. They'll turn 10 Censor. Alright, there's Absorb. All the things I know about are now answered. But now they're on just sort of like the aggro strat. Hero's Downfall is pretty good. 1, 2, 3, 4 black. Alright, I think I want this on blue. So, black, black, colorless. Do you have a counterspell for this too? Right, another Absorb. I'm going to do this right now while they don't have double blue available. And I'm going to jam Tibalt next turn and hope that they're out of gas. We have one card in hand. Let's just draw Thoughtseize and make this easy. Valki. Or Release to the Winds for Valki. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I think just casting Tibalt makes more sense. Like if I cast Valki, I can check their hand, but I'm not sure that matters. Alright. Ooh, found a Dig Through Time. And a Supreme Verdict. Not bad. Guess I don't need to cast Dig right now. I can wait. Like, waiting gives them a chance to counter it in their end step, but I'm also pretty sure I don't care about that right now. Like, Valky's gonna draw so many cards. Oh, they're attacking Tibalt. That... I guess they're scared of the Yawgmoth's Will. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So, Drown in the Lock. That's exactly the sort of thing I'm looking for right now. And Thoughtseize. I don't think I need that. I think I want Jace. Alright, this is the first time in the entire league that Tibalt has actually been able to be in play and do anything. Just draw 2 extra cards a turn. Oh, I have a Teferi now. Alright, yeah, they're packing it up. Okay. We maneuvered that game for a long time, being really careful working through counter magic to get to that point where we could jam actual Tibalt on the backside. So negate, Disdainful Stroke. Probably want the Mystical Disputes. Like we saw that game, mana did matter, even late into the game. Like, there was like a turn 10 opportunity for them to censor me. Exile all creatures and planeswalkers. Its converted mana costs 3 or less. Alright, yeah, this is definitely not good for me. Like, it can get rid of their Narset, but it exiles my Jace and Valki and everything. That's a no. Alright, so Extinction Event comes out. Fatal Push also comes out. I think I drew all 4 of them in the early stages of that game. That's not where you want to be. Bloodchief Thirst still good. Soulguide Lantern does very little. It pressures their dig through times, but so does Negate. So I think this is the sideboard plan that I want to do. Okay, let's do it. Yeah, like, Enter the God Eternals as a possible alternate win condition isn't good because you need a creature to target to cast that spell. Alright, well, we got Valki into release here. There's no counter magic and no discard in this hand, but I think this is not a matchup where we're going to die quickly. So, being on the draw, having some time to look into my options. I'm going to opt now because I don't want it to get Mystical Disputed. Like, I don't know if they would just aggressively Mystical Dispute. They would probably censor if they had it, and I don't want that to happen either. Alright, I'm just going to land go. I can save this Duress for later. I guess, like, Narset is the one card that I would wish that I had Duressed this turn, but in general, like you can wait till turn 4 or until you're going to do something to duress them. So you can strip a Teferi or a counterspell. Right. The blue half of this. I could check them with duress now. They did just leave up 3 mana, so... Though I guess this does curve well. Like, if I duress them, then play Valki, and then next turn I can release to the wind. That does work out pretty well, so yeah, I'm actually going to duress now. If they counter this, then I can just jam my creature. Right, Supreme Verdict, D-Sphere. So this is a pretty robust hand. There is not a 4th land in this hand. I'm going to take Censor, and then I'm going to jam Valki and take their Baneslayer Angel. Like, this will make them tap out on their turn for a Detention Sphere or Supreme Verdict, and then that'll give me a chance to take some other actions. I can also release to the wind their Detention Sphere at some point where it's convenient for me. Baneslayer Angel. Yeah, unfortunately, I don't get to turn it into Baneslayer Angel for 2 turns. I'm wondering if maybe I'm supposed to take Detention Sphere, let them have Censor, and just play off-curve around Censor for the rest of the game. Though they would have just cycled Azorius Charm and Censor and had... the information would have been different anyway. I'm not sure if I'm supposed to respect that or not. Okay, so I have Hero's Downfall for Baneslayer if they just jam this turn. Though I can do better. If they just jam Baneslayer, I'll release to the wind Detention Sphere, untap, and then release to the wind. Oh, but then they can D-Sphere the Tibalt. But I'm not sure if I care about that. Yeah, I think I'm going to take my window right now to do all this sweet stuff. Yeah, because I can release that. I get back Valki. The hand is 2 digs and a verdict. Untap. Release to the wind this. And now I get the emblem. Or I get to steal Baneslayer Angel, which they're going to have to deal with over time. Take that. So Baneslayer's here. I think this is actually a red source time, preparing for the next one. They have the 2 digs, so Thought Seizing now doesn't even do anything. Like, there's no creatures to verdict. They're just going to play their Detention Sphere again and take Tibalt. But I've already gotten a Baneslayer Angel out of it. I can save the Thoughtseize for when I want to dig through time. Or if I draw land, I can Thoughtseize the Verdict and then jam Baneslayer. Though that is kind of dangerous with Teferi, Detention Sphere, all of those sort of things. Because if they bounce or exile this, then it comes back. It's theirs again. So maybe I just want it over here. Probably not in a hurry to jam that one. They topped their card with Opt. I'm going to get an island with this. So there's no reason to Thoughtseize now, because the cards I want to take are both Dig Through Time. Yeah, so I think I have to let them dig once, and then... Or I could dig in response to them digging. They have one unknown card. Yeah, this is probably a good time to do that. And they're going to have to tap out to dig, because they only have 4 cards in their graveyard. Yeah, dig in response to their dig. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Alright, they just didn't go for it. That's good too. Drown is pretty awkward, facing down Dig Through Time. I don't have anything to refire with Lurrus, so I can just sit on that for a minute. I think maybe I just... No, I think I Thoughtseize, Lurrus, and then they'll dig looking for an answer to Lurrus, and then I can dig in response to their dig. I really just want to absorb my Thoughtseize. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Alright, now I'm ready to go off with a dig. Yeah, we're both playing kind of chicken right now. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh, I actually should have done it in the end step, because they wouldn't have been able to dig. They only had 2 mana. Or 2 mana and 5 cards. They were a little short. I missed a window there. I should have dig cards in my hand right now. Alright, so they have dig, verdict, and 1 unknown. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Let's hope the unknown isn't a counterspell. Alright, it wasn't. So, Drown in the Lock's not great. Jace is great. I think Duress is probably really good too. So I think I want Drown and Duress. No, not Drown and Duress. Duress and Jace. Alright, so the dig will make Drown good for 1 card. Duress will put a 2nd card in the graveyard, one way or the other. Like, I either take a card or Duress gets countered, and either way Drown in the Lock gets a 2nd card. But if I can strip this verdict, or better yet, strip the dig and play a longer game, make them verdict to answer Jace, and then I'm still sitting on Lurrus that can replay the Jace. Alright, they've got a fresh grip over there, though. Let's see how they did. Shark Typhoon, cast out, seal away, dig through time. So Shark Typhoon, what does that do to me? It's a cantrip, but it makes a 2/2. Yeah, I'm gonna take dig through time and play Jace. Yeah, I can kill the shark with Drown. I also have Hero's Downfall for the shark if I really care. They can just cast out Jace, but then my next Tibalt is better. They can seal away Jace eventually. But I can Drown, seal away. Valki. Always exciting to find that, because I am 1 land away from Tibalt. Alright, let's see if they want to seal away in response. They did not. So it's actually a tough discard, because I do want this land to cast Valki. But at the same time, my hand is full of gas. Yeah, I'm going to discard the land. I'll find another one. No rush. Yeah, I'm going to drown in the lock seal away, though. I want to work through these answers they have in their hand. Oh, they're just making a big shark. I'll just downfall the shark. If they find Teferi, they got me. But that puts 4 cards in my graveyard, so Jace is in danger of flipping next turn. And I think if I am able to start a fight over Jace this turn, then that maximizes my chance of Valkying next turn. Like, if they have to verdict... Okay, they didn't. That's fine. Alright, so they have Cast Out and Verdict in their hand. Cast Out, Verdict, and one unknown. Alright, let's just draw 2 cards with Tibalt. Hope I don't get censored. Can I play around censor? They just played Dovin's Veto. Alright, let's go. I have the Luris if this gets countered. Alright, got there. Draw 2 cards. It's gonna get cast out, but I don't care. It's already a 3-for-1. Right, so we know Spell Pierce isn't in their deck, or they would have opted in response to Tibalt, so I don't have to play around Spell Pierce anymore. Not that I was doing it anyway. And Spell Pierce is really bad in a deck like this that wants to go long. Like, you're dragging out the game to a point where both players are going to have a million mana. Spell Pierce is not a card that you want to play. Ooh, Teferi. So they get to keep their cast out for the next thing. JK. They have Verdict, cast out, back up Teferi. That's actually a really good hand considering the circumstances. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. So if I take... I can play Luris and Jace if I take Supreme Verdict, and then they have to pick which one they want to deal with. So I take Verdict. And then there's no place to get value off of Luris right away. Yeah, I mistap there. There's no reason to tap Watery Grave when I have Swamp, but I'm not doing anything with that mana. I felt pretty good when Tibalt resolved, but finding Teferi was absolutely brutal, as it tends to be. So let's just... They have 1 mystery card in their hand right now. Let's just hope that the mystery card isn't good. So they took the thing that can attack and kill Teferi. Now Cast Out is known. I'll discard this extra land. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So I can spend a turn duressing them, but I don't think... I'm not sure if that's good. Like, maybe I'm supposed to dig plus Baneslayer this turn? If I'm gonna dig, maybe I should duress... No, I should Hero's Downfall. What am I even saying right now? But they have another... Alright, so I'm gonna dig through time. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I might be able to do both. I want to duress them and Hero's Downfall this turn. Okay, good. I found Hero's Downfall and another Valki, so I can just jam Tibalts into play for the rest of the game. So I'm going to duress them. And take the second Teferi. Then I'm going to Hero's Downfall the first Teferi. That's my plan anyway. Censor. That's not going to do it. I have 5 minutes left on my clock. I'm going to have to win this game quickly. Luckily, Baneslayer Angel's pretty good at that. Right there, just cycling a bunch of cards, trying to get anything going. Thoughtseize you into Baneslayer Angel. Castle Ardenvale, sure. I'm just going to jam my WinCon while I know it's good. All right, let's go. Race against the clock now. Castle. Crunch. Target nothing. Jam Tibalt. Two, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. They know I have this because they tucked it with Teferi earlier. Boo. Alright, that's okay. I have 2 of them. Alright, they drew a land for turn. That's good for me. It's still pressuring Jace. Get in there. Tibalt's going to draw 2 again. Another one with my 3rd emblem. Oh, should have played my land. Whoops. I'm just frantically clicking, trying to get this game done in time, but I missed my land drop there. I'm sure it's fine. Alright, yeah, they're just playing lands. Oh, it was Ardenvale. That's a good reason to play your land. And I guess the Fabled Passage last turn thinned their deck as well, so there were, in fact, reasons to play both of the lands they played. Play this. Exile the top cards. Shark Typhoon. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Cast that. Get fucked. Okay, race is on. 3.5 minutes. Let's go. F6. Just keep bricking. So one of these soldiers doesn't have power. It has -1 power. And I can block with Jace, another one. They are keeping Tibalt from going off. The Field of Ruin can also force me to take game actions, which is just a Magic Online thing that doesn't matter in real life, but it could eat up a couple seconds on my clock if it comes down to that. Exile cards. Ooh, Behold the Multiverse. That's an instant, right? Yes, alright. Alright, they conceded. Generous. Alright. We finally won a match. On to the final round. Trying to save our half money back guarantee. Alright, we're on the draw in the last round against another Luris deck. My hand's got lands and spells in it, so I'm going to keep it. Alright, they are the type of Luris deck that I expect when I see Luris. And we're the other kind. So this was a pretty good hand to have Fatal Push and Bloodchief's Thirst in. So I'm going to play... So I could play Fetid Pools now and double spell next turn. Yeah, I think that's better. Like, that's gonna hurt me at some point coming into play tapped, so I might as well just get it out of the way with a minimal pressure on the board. Like, if I didn't have both of these, I would probably have just left up Fatal Push this turn and then figured it out next turn, but also being able to, like, Fatal Push or Opt, if that's better, is pretty nice. Yeah, I like that play. I've decided, if I do say so myself. Alright, Fatal Push and Opt is my plan this turn. By passing the turn, I give up the Bloodchief's Thirst. Shocking. They're going to try to put 2 spells in the graveyard. Right. That was a pretty good light up the stage. It's their land drop for the turn. Yikes. Lots of haste. Let's get rid of that, and let's opt. Don't need another opt here. I need answers now. That was a good draw. Painless land. So I'm going to Valki and check their hand. Hopefully I can strip a creature out of it. Nope, such luck. These are wizards, right? Yes. Alright, well, Valki can block perfectly well. So now they will decide if they want to shoot the Valki or attack into it. I assume you should just shoot it and continue attacking. Ooh, they did none of the above. It looks like they want to challenge my Luris. Uh-oh. Uh-oh, uh-oh. Danger zone. So I'm going to play the front half of this and just pass the turn. Yeah, that Wizard's Lightning is actually a huge beating. Maybe I'm supposed to opt now. But does that do anything? I don't think so. I'll just pass. That land's pretty good. So now they can Luris and creature and Wizard's Lightning. Yeah, they're not gonna fall for it. Yeah, I should opt. Ooh. I wish I had just countered this fucking Luris now, but okay. Alright, so now I can kill Luris. I committed to the line of my opponent being suboptimal, and it turns out that they just weren't. And never punished, so I'm just gonna draw a removal spell. Put Luris in my hand. So that was definitely 2 damage I didn't need to take last turn. I do not want to pay 2 life. Alright, can you deal 6 with your 3 cards in hand? I hope not. There's 4. And what else you got? 1 card left in hand. Oh my god. Alright, so is there anything in my graveyard that Lurrus would do better than... I guess I can Lurrus Valki and just hope for the best? Or maybe I should lead on the Valki from hand. But that doesn't matter. Yeah. If they have it, I think. Because, like, even if I Valki, that doesn't gain me life. Okay, so we just need to fade a draw step. 1 draw step to rule them all. Oh shit, they're tapping mana. Fuck. Yeah, so the 2 damage that I took on that turn that I didn't need to when I could have just countered Lurrus was the entire game. I'm a dummy. Okay, so Deadweight's great here. This might be a matchup where I want Shadow's Verdict. I've been wondering what that's for the whole time. So maybe not. I'm still not convinced I want this. No, I don't. Fuck you, Shadow's Verdict. So I don't think these 4 mana sweepers and like fighting over the graveyard with Lurrus is how I beat Lurrus in this matchup. I also don't think I want Thoughtseize here. Do I want Duress? Do I want Aether Gust? And Aether Gust can buy me some time or be like a fake removal spell. Do I cut all my Thoughtseizes? And if so, do the Duresses come in? Duress. I think Negate might be better than Duress. And Aether Gust can buy me time in a way that's more guaranteed than Negate, but Negate can buy me actual life points. So that's actually a pretty close call. Yeah, Erebos' Intervention is a gain X spell, so I want that. Enter the God Eternals is great. So I have the 2 Duresses, all my removals in. Maybe 3 is too many digs, and I can bring in an Aether Gust there. So I don't want to get dig flooded. This is not a matchup where you have time to mess around with that. Oh, there's 61 cards in my deck right now. That's too many. I cut another dig. I could cut a Release to the Wind because that combo is like medium in this matchup. Alright, I'm gonna do this. Here's my plan. Still a Lurrus deck. Opponent is also still a Lurrus deck. Alright, Deadweight is one of the best cards that I have. That's the combo, the hard lock. So I'm going to lead on Fabled Passage, because Fabled Passage will come into play tapped no matter what in these early turns, but Watery Grave I can pay 2 life if I feel like I want to. So I'll just lead on the 1 with fewer options. Gar. Alright, so Deadweight, easy one here. And there's no reason to take damage, so... Bang. Luris and Deadweight against a deck like this is so nice. Swift Spear. Okay, so I can Bloodsheath Thirst one of these. I think the Swift Spear is the one that I want to kill because it has haste. And this Aether Gust, if I end up bouncing a creature, I want it to be the one without haste. I'm just trying to bridge the gap up into Enter the God Eternals right now. And that's really the whole plan. Right, so this smells like a light up the stage to me. I'm not going to give it to them that easy. They bottomed that. Alright, so that was a straight up Doomblade. Second main, 3 mana, light up the stage. Oh, just get Luris, even better. Play the front half of this. I can also just get Luris. Yeah, that's got to be the play, because I have the Deadweight already. This one's lining up pretty well for me. A lot better than the last one did. And if Luris should bridge the gap into the 5th land where entering the God Eternals becomes bananas. Just hope they don't have graveyard hate. Alright, I'll just take the clean play here. Deadweight their Luris. The opt for a land is the greedy play. And I love a greedy play normally, but I don't think this is the place for it. Alright, somehow they still don't have 2 spells in their graveyard for this Lava Runner. Alright, deck, ship me that untap land. Or the 3rd Jace. Valki, I actively don't want. Like, I'm literally just interested in lands right now. Alright, let's hope this turn I spent spinning my wheels wasn't too late. Because if I can enter the God Eternals and then Jace flashback enter the God Eternals. Alright, so what's the scariest card in their hand? Boros Charm? So taking 1 extra life versus losing Jace. What is... No. I'm not going to fall for it. I can take 1 damage. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Yeah, if their card in hand is Boros Charm, or like any spell, losing Jace for 2 life, I don't think is the difference. Okay. Ended up hitting Jace anyway. Alright, Eternals, let's go. Alright, deal 4, you gain life equal to damage dealt. Target player mills 4, amass 4. Yeah, that sounds pretty good. Okay, yeah, milling them for 4 when their Luris is already gone feels a lot better than pre-Luris. Oh, they're still going. I have to assume there's a spell in their hand. One, two, three, four, 5, 6, 7, 8. So, like, any bolt results in a trade, and they all deal 2. They have to top deck spells for Swift Spears to keep doing 2. So, I think that Pyromancer is the block. Oh, they just went face. Interesting. Alright, well, hope I'm not dead. Yeah, I guess going face does put me to 3. They may have paced this out perfectly if they... It's now or never again. Like, they drew the lightning strike when they needed it last game. Alright, they packed it up. Whew. So they found the Lightning Strike last game. They didn't find it this game, because Jace was going to flashback, enter the God Eternals this turn, and then that was it. Wow, that was fun. Thrilling Magic the Gathering. Alright, I'm now convinced that I want all my Aether Gusts. Now that I didn't see a Swift Spear or a Soulscar Mage in game 1. I probably should have assumed they were in the deck, but they didn't have that. I didn't see that prowess element. I'm going to cut a Release to the Wind, because Valki just being a 2-1 that messes with their hand a little bit is reasonable enough here. And Release to the Wind is not a good card without it. Luris. This is a mono black hand. I'm going to have to mulligan that. Yeah, this is better. It's still not good, but it's better. I think I want to bottom Jace. Yeah, so I can duress them into Valki or Jace, depending on what I see. Hopefully we can take something good here. Yeah, like a Light Up the Stage. Beginning of each player's upkeep, do 1 whenever a player casts a spell. If no mana was spent to cast that spell, Vortex deals 5 damage and opponents can't gain life. Okay, so that's in there for the can't gain life clause. Light Up the Stage. They need that to hit their land drop. So yeah, I'm gonna take the Light Up the Stage and hope for the best. If they just like draw Mountain this turn, I am probably dead. I'm gambling here. That Eidolon of the Great Revel is also a huge beating. Soulscar Mage go. Fuck. Alright, yeah, Eidolon's also a huge problem. Play the front half of this, so I can just take the Pyromancer from their hand and at least save some damage there. Yeah, Valki can actually trade with Eidolon, where Jace just doesn't do that. Okay. Not that I'm excited about any of that. Alright, so I'm not going to trade with a 1-2. That Eidolon's too good. That's the card I just took. Stop it. Alright, so decision time. Do I put Jace into play and take 2 extra damage? Or do I Fatal Push Eidolon? No, I think I need Jace in play. Like, what am I doing this game if that doesn't happen? Yeah, at least currently Jace can block get to Lava Runner. Right, everyone's getting in. Is this the Boros Charm blowout? Like, if I line up the obvious blocks, just put Valki on Eidolon and Jace on this, and then they give their creatures indestructible with Boros Charm. That's really awful. Okay, that didn't happen. That might have just been a turn on Light Up the Stage attack. Or it also could be, I'm a burn deck, I need to push for damage. Chipping for 1 a turn isn't how I'm going to win this game. Roiling Vortex. Yep. Alright, so I'm going to get a Swamp with Fabled Passage. Take 1 from this. Ooh. I can kill this and gain 2 life right now before they have mana up to deny me that. I could also Valki, strip a card, and Fatal Push. I think that's probably better. Yeah, like, keeping them off this Pyromancer for longer is better. Though I could also make Valki into a 2/2, but I don't think that matters. I'm going to take Pyromancer. And I have Jace. Ready to loot. I'm not going to loot now because I do still want the ability to block. And because they've missed their land drop, I don't think they're going to be able to leave up red for Roiling Vortex at any point. Right, so block, block. Now Fatal Push is on, and so is Jace. So here's this. I take 2. And then I Fatal Push this in the end step. And then I flip Jace in the end step. Land would be great. Bummer. So I think I want to gain the life now. Target creature gets -X, you gain X life. Does that even make sense? No, this is an instant. Could -2/-0 this. I could also just... Yeah, I want to -2/-0 this creature. Yeah, Erebos' Intervention being an instant is worth a lot here. Eidolon, okay, yep. Glad I didn't Erebos' Intervention, that random shitter. So I'm gonna Downfall. Maybe I'm being greedy, but I'm just really hoping to find a land and draw another life, or gain more life off of this intervention than I'm currently getting. Like, no, maybe that's just really terrible. Or I can do both. Okay, so if I draw a land immediately, Erebos' Intervention is a 4-drop and I don't take damage. Alright, fuck it. No, I'm just gonna roast this. Go back up to 6. Alright, it's not the land I wanted. Okay, so -3. Erebos' Intervention on the flashback. No, don't take 2 life. Yeah, this Roiling Vortex is a pretty big problem. And we know they have Lava Runner, Soulscar Mage in hand. Ooh, double Mage. Okay, we got answers. So do I dig here or do I get Lurrus in hand? I mean, the Lurrus plus the Roiling Vortex like doesn't even guarantee me anything. Alright, I'll get Lurrus. Like, them having to leave up mana also gains me life, like virtual life. And they don't have 2 spells in their hand. So I don't think this Soulscar Mage is going to do much damage here. Alright, so it has -1 power. I should gain a life. Flavor Judge. Lava Runner. And Lava Runner. Okay, here they are. The gang's all here. So I can Duress or Fatal Push with I'm not going to Duress, but I could Fatal Push with Jace, then play Luris, or I could play Luris and Valki and plus Jace. That actually sounds like the best play. Okay, so Luris, Valki, Light Up the Stage is the last card in their hand. Shrink. Soul Scar Mage, I think. The one with the most potential to get rowdy. Alright, well, Roiling Vortex, I think, is ready to do its job. Ooh, if they play Light Up the Stage, though, I'm going to gain 3 life. If they tap out of Vortex, that's great. Yes, please. So, they attack here. So, okay. I don't think I'm ready to lose Luris, but I would go to 3, 1, Hero's Downfall, connect with Luris, replay another creature. Okay, so block, trade, go to 3, get 3 life back, versus just being at 8 right now without a Luris anymore. But I can Hero's Downfall and replay this Valki and still plus Jace. Yeah, I'm gonna go to 2. It's 3 and then 2 in my upkeep. And plus on this one, attack with Luris. Valki. I know you don't have a hand, it's fine. And I'm holding up Hero's Downfall or Dig. I know they have Soulscar Mage, and I guess I should have plussed on Soulscar Mage because a spell... Alright, they don't have a spell anyway, so Valki will trade off with whatever they attack with. Okay, so do I want to Hero's Downfall a creature now to save 2 life, or do I want to downfall the Eidolon? If I dig... I think I'm like locked out of life at this point. So I guess dig through time. My opponent is tilting in the chat. This has been a great game, be quiet. So if I dig through time for Aether Gust, removing Roiling Vortex. Alright, so I think I have to kill Eidolon. Don't get another chance. Okay, they want to keep offering trades with my Valki that will keep coming back. That's a deal. Okay, so Hero's Downfall this. I go back to 3 and then 2 in my upkeep. So actually Aether Gust doesn't even really help. Do I have a way to gain life in my graveyard? I do not. So One, I gotta be careful about my graveyard here, because I also have Jace. So there are 8 cards in my graveyard. I get to leave 2 behind. I think I want to leave Valki and Hero's Downfall, or Valki and Fatal Push behind. Yeah, Valki and Push. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Hero's Downfall, opt, Jace. This is not what I wanted. Yeah, so I basically need them to brick forever. So I need opt. And I think I need Jace too. Or there's an opt in my hand. Valki in the graveyard. So yeah, maybe I need. Yeah, I think it is just opt and Jace. Right, so I can Fatal Push one of these creatures. Fatal Push. So I'm effectively at 1, like dead to anything. Zap this. Cast Valki. No, pay 2 life. Alright, all in. I don't think it even matters at this point because I'm going to be at 1, and even if I find the Aether Gust. Alright, you happy now, opponent? You drew your burn spell. Yeah, that was a great game. Roiling Vortex was the clutch sideboard spell that I took Light of the Stage over it on turn 1, and here we are on turn 11, and it won the game. Yeah, I gambled with that first one, like hoping they wouldn't hit their land drop, and it didn't pay off, but we got a lot more game than I expected out of it. But okay, so this deck I did not think was very good. It seems like we're trying to be really cute and clever, and the combo, quote unquote combo of Valki plus Release the Wind, it results in Tibalt, which doesn't necessarily win the game on its own. It is countered by any removal spell, it's countered by any counter spell, and Valki's not very good on its own, and there's no other win condition in the deck. So I think there's a lot of problems with this deck. I know Canister went 5-0 with it, but Canister is Canister. I can't recommend this deck. If you want to put Tibalt Cosmic Imposter into play, I recommend doing it via Bring to Light and just playing a more powerful deck overall. So this was fun to play. I do like blue-black control, but like I said in the beginning, this looks like Dimir Inverter, but this is not Dimir Inverter. It's not even close, actually. This is the difference between Dimir Inverter and Valki is that Inverter actually wins when it goes off, and Valki just makes an impressive permanent. But we saw Tibalt get answered a number of times this league. It only really ran amok once, I think, maybe twice, like that. Not impressed, but it's cool. I like playing these. I like getting them out of the system. So Foxconn, thanks for the submission. And everyone, thanks for watching. This ended up being significantly longer than I expected when I queued up with this deck. I did not expect a like 2.5, 3 hour league out of this, but that's what we got. So thanks for sticking with me this long, and make sure to like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you next time.